Good morning. I'm on my way to a little bit of a running group. I think I've gone running in a group like once in my adult life. Maybe. I don't know. I remember hating running at period as a kid. I probably avoided it in groups as an adult just because, then everybody could see me suffer. But now that I'm in the business of letting everybody see me suffer, it seems pretty much on brand to go ahead and just do it. And it sounds fun. It's a group that comes through the cafe pretty often. And looking forward to it. They invited me to join them and totally thought it was a women's only group and they're trying to get men involved. And so we'll see how this works. But it also raised one of the questions that I've been thinking a lot about that I figured, we should probably make this an open part of the conversation that's ongoing. And that is, where's the boundary? Like, where do I stop sharing? What are the things that I keep for myself? And there are things that I obviously keep for myself, some of which you don't even know about because I keep them for myself. But some of them we've talked about, like my thought process on ongoing and budding relationships, for example. But those are also things that I want to be able to share down the line. And so trying to find the right way to go about that, and trying to find the right way to go about, just keeping some things for myself. So to exercise that, I'm not going to film, and it also doesn't help that I'm going to be, running with a bunch of people I've never met before. So that's a good incentive to give this a try. But I'm not going to show this experience this morning. I share my running with you. But the group thing, I'll keep to myself at least this morning and use that as like a little bit of an in to talk today just about how my life is changing and how it's cool, but also kind of weird. And just got to figure that out. But I'm late, and so I'm going to start running early. I'll get an extra kilometer in, I guess, this morning because, it's like it's almost 7, and I'm supposed to be there already. So I'm going to go. I'm really enjoying this whole getting up early thing. Like, I think I'm sold. It doesn't come with, it's not without its drawbacks, obviously. There are moments where I would rather just be sleeping, but considering the overall background noise level of anxiety in the world right now, and my sleep hasn't been quite as good as it normally is, why not just get up? And I feel sleepier at night. I feel like I might be sleeping better, and it's obviously painful to get up, go for a run, but like, once you get going, like get the blood flowing, start to wake up, and then suddenly you're like, feeling good, and then get home super hungry, make some eggs, eat that, have some coffee, like, I don't know, right, ready, roaring to go. Then it's only what time? It's like barely 9 o'clock. So I still have to upload yesterday's vlog, and I feel like I should go check in on Back in Black because I haven't been there in a little while. And I still have a little bit of cash left over from the coffee shop thing, and all the complications with my landlady and trying to get cash to pay for stuff that was going on with her. There's stuff that was happening, and she just, I was trying to be a helpful young man, but anywho, we got to do that, and I have an idea for where I want to take it. I haven't told them yet, so I'm kind of debating whether or not I should talk to them before I just show up with cash in hand, but it'd be kind of fun just to show up with cash in hand, but they weren't open yesterday, I checked, so we'll have to get up there here sometime soon. It just, everything feels kind of chaotic, and that's actually kind of the point of today's video for me, and what I've been thinking about is like how to rein in the chaos a little bit, and how to keep my boundaries from being totally just overrun by my own stupid decisions and inability to say no to social engagements and or especially work. My dad gave me an analogy just looking out his window, I think, when we were talking on the phone the other day. But in talking about boundaries, you have this whole idea of, when you have a yard, when you have a garden, you create boundaries for fruits, for flowers, for the grass, keep weeds out, all of that. And within your own life, you have to create boundaries. It's kind of a theme within my family. I feel like we talk about it all the time, and we're also just not very good at it. So that's probably why we keep coming back to it and talking about it all the time. But it's true, like if you want a healthy garden, if you want the plants to thrive, you find ways of keeping different plants in different places and not letting them encroach on each other too much. And in doing so, provide something for yourself that you would otherwise not be able to have without a little bit of discipline, without a little bit of forethought. And that's kind of what I'm talking about today. I need more coffee, and I'm hungry. Man, that was a long run today. things that I didn't realize fully. I was aware of this, but I didn't really grasp the fact that like going from working a bunch of side jobs to working basically exclusively on my vlog would just completely throw my scheduling off. And that, it seems totally obvious on this side of things, because clearly it would. I mean, like, I was vlogging around everything else I was doing, like 2 or 3 side jobs, whatever was going on, and I had to get those done to pay my bills. And then I did the vlogging because I loved it, and I was really excited by it, and I had a lot of fun with it. And I still love it, I still have fun with it, but now I don't have those forced scheduling elements in my schedule. I'm in charge of my entire schedule for myself, but more or less, like, yeah, 95% of it's all me. And I never put those two together until recently when I was just thinking about like, well, how did I keep like an actual structure to my day in the past? You know, not that that structure was particularly healthy, like going to bed at 2 in the morning and getting up at 7 or 8 in the morning every day. Not what I want to go back to, but what I do want to try and recapture is a little bit of a sense of forward momentum and productivity, because there's a lot of stuff that needs to get done, and like I gotta find a way of putting the right things in the right boxes so that I actually get them done. Otherwise, I'm kind of likely to go a little crazy. Not all curbs are built the same. It's interesting to try and figure out what exactly is my job now, because a big part of it is, you know, obviously making videos. I think there's a little bit of a conflation though too, like when I started making videos, I was just following my life, trying to make it, trying to survive in Paris. I made touristy stuff just because I love sharing the city and I love trying to help people get off on the right foot in the city. Now I don't even have tourism. You know, I'm in a place where I need to kind of figure out, okay, well what does it look like if I can't travel, if I can't do, you know, touristy stuff, if I can't really recommend things. I can recommend things, but there's the twofold thing of like, one, who's going to use the recommendations, and two, are they even going to survive? Like, we're in this kind of weird unknown space where I want to support local businesses, I want to support my friends, I want to support the places that I love, and I don't know what the video side of it looks like right now, and that's just like one part of it. And that's the thing, is there's all this other work that has to be done. Whoa, things that I consider work that are, is it really work, you know? I try to respond to every comment still. I'm completely lost on Instagram messages. Again, sorry about that. I'm way behind on email now too. And I don't respond to every YouTube comment anymore. I mean, I try to, but it's surprising how many actually get by me. Like I see some from some of you who comment regularly that I didn't respond to, and I feel bad about it. I try to respond later, but I can't stay on top of all of it all the time. And I think that's part of it, is trying to set some boundaries where I give myself a little bit of grace. So that it's not entirely, oh, there's some good noise for you. See if that goes away. It's really easy to beat myself up. I tend to do that, partially because I feel guilty, but I don't necessarily feel guilty as much as I'm trying to communicate to people, you know, that I care about them. And I care about you, and I want to respond. I want to respond to all these things. But then there's also these increasingly, like, demanding emails. The host from an Airbnb, for example, found out that I was on YouTube, and they wrote me a very long email trying to get me to help them with, like, a Kickstarter campaign. And it just feels like, it's not what I do, but at the same time, when people reach out, you know, you want to be there for them, but there are limits to my time, my energy, and that's what I'm trying to figure out. Okay, how do I set up these boundaries so that you know that I care, even if I just don't have any time or energy left over to put as much effort into interactions and so forth as I would really like to. And that's like a second part of all this. Whoa. Another is just like, how do I get everything else done? Like, I've got another project that I'll tell you about at some point with Brian, again, because Brian keeps sucking me into projects, thus the weekly Monday calls. I want to be writing. I want to make sure I'm still writing books, but I also want to dedicate more time to making the videos. Like, there's so much energy that's sucked out of us right now, or at least of me, by the global situation, the pandemic, the heightened awareness of the suffering of so many people. I mean, just like, everything's weird, right? And it's doubly weird right now because I'm here in France where things are kind of getting back to normal, but we know they shouldn't get entirely back to normal, but we're letting ourselves fall into it, like a little bit. If I was gonna say fall into that trap, I don't know if it's really a trap, but you know, like, it's a little bit disconcerting in a way, and I then forget until I talk to like family or friends or see your comments how crazy things are back in the States where I'm from, and how wildly different our lives are, how completely different our worlds are right now. And that, in a weird way, also lends to some stress because, for one, I feel bad that I get to be out and about right now, wheeling around, eating at restaurants, kind of living my life. And for two, I don't remember what my point was, that car just went by, but like I'm also really grateful that I have the opportunity to kind of act as a vicarious window into a pseudo-normal world in the midst of just insanity, and hopefully bring you like a little window into, you know, a different life for a little bit, I guess. But what I'm trying to say is, I'm actually trying to make a work day out of my life. Not really like a work day, I didn't mean that. I'm not trying to turn my entire life into a work day. What I'm trying to say is, I'm trying to find a way of like actually carving out space in the day and planning so that I can film around a work day. Because otherwise, I'm just gonna work nonstop. I literally get up and work until I go to bed if I don't give myself some sort of like, because there's always more to do. There's so much to do. I have to do the audiobook for my current book. I'm still figuring out how to get my book, you know, on Amazon, which is a pain. The physical version. That's a whole other side of things right now. I just have a lot of projects and a lot of things going on, so it's really easy to feel like I should be working, when I actually should be living my life as well. So I'm gonna try, obviously when I'm traveling, doing day trips, out and about, or doing something in the evening, filming something in the evening, that's great. I wanna keep doing that. But I'm also trying to figure out a way, okay, how can I get my tasks set down, ready for me, parcel them out over the course of like a week or something like that, have set hours that I sit down and work on my computer, phone calls, whatever, and then vlog around that. Vlog when I get up, vlog when I'm eating, vlog when I'm traveling about, vlog when I decide to just hang out by a scooter, because all these scooters are just hanging out here, so might as well hang out with them, right? They're kind of lonely. So that's kind of what I'm talking about, the boundaries. Like, how do I make sure I respond as much as possible to comments, messages, emails, whatever, without feeling terribly guilty when I can't get to all of it? How do I keep writing? How do I keep managing my projects? How do I keep, you know, progressing? I have a lot of like financial like documentation stuff I still have to do. See, there's always more. There's always more. But really, that's the long and short of it. And I'm really lucky. I love what I'm doing. Like, this is great. I actually kind of get a little bit giddy when I think about it. And so that's also part of the weight of it. Like, wanting to make sure that I really, really not just enjoy it, but respect it. Like, I've worked so hard for so long to be able to do something that I wanted to do in a place that I wanted to live. The fact that I'm pretty much there, I'm really there, is something that is sometimes lost on me because I'm still in like workaholic mode. And it's something that I want to take time to be grateful for. And I know that by setting boundaries, some structure, and limits, you know, being able to say no a little bit more often, more quickly, and with a little bit less, like, I write some painstaking emails that I really should probably just write, like, respond with, like, no, but thank you, or thank you, but no. I'm learning. And as for you, like, whatever that looks like within your life right now, or maybe your tasks, your life, your goals, whatever, are kind of all blending together and bleeding into each other, that lack of boundary, like, there's something tempting about that, to let everything become one thing in your life. Like, it's very tempting to allow my whole vlogging thing to become basically my identity. But I think I'm gonna be a happier, healthier, more whole person if I can take some of those things like vlogging, which demands everything. Like, I could give my entire life over to making vlogs, which would be kind of fun, and I'm sure it would keep you even more entertained, but I think I'll be a happier, healthier, more whole person if I, you know, set some limits to that and make some space to live a life. Something I'm not very good at. I tend to be, you know, a mild to severe workaholic, but at least I'm a recovering one. And admission is the first step to recovery, right? So we can hope. And so speaking of all that, I think I'm done filming for the day. Got to, you know, sit down and do some other stuff for a bit, and then maybe, you know, I'll go have a drink with a friend or something like that. That'd be great. Thank you, of course, to my patrons who are the ones that make it possible for me to be having this very amazing problem to have, like figuring out how do I organize my life in a way that I can be productive, happy, and healthy. It's something that like is honestly a blessing. It's really, really cool. And thank you so much to my patrons for giving me that blessing. And in particular, Jose Nanin, thank you so much for being my patron producer of the day. I really hope that you enjoyed a little chat about boundaries on your video, but I appreciate having you here, period. So thank you so much for your support, as always. And to the rest of you, thank you for watching, and I hope that you are having a wonderful day, wherever it is you are. And I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning for, you know, maybe a trip to a museum. Maybe it's a trip to a museum that you are curious to see what it's like with minimal tourists. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and find out. But you'll see tomorrow, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night, day, morning. Have a, you know, just have a good week, life. Sometimes I don't know how to sign off these things.